So we got to Rome and we didn't know where we were going to stay, so we took the subway out far into the kind of outskirts of town, and we found this wheat field, and we didn't set up our tent because we thought people would see us, so we just kind of like opened it and laid it on top with the hay and made a little place, and we just laid without the tent on top of it and kind of just camped out under the stars. It was nice. So we just spent a lot of time walking around like the Colosseum, and that was really good. And just walking on the roads and stuff that are like hundreds or thousands of years old, and seeing all these things that you've seen in movies tons of times and seen in pictures and history books, and it was really amazing to see all that stuff. Probably the best thing we saw in Rome, I think, was the Vatican and the Vatican Museum, which was free, luckily. The Vatican had the Sistine Chapel in it. It had St. Peter's Basilica, which is just an amazing dome and church. Yeah, one day in Rome we went out to watch the Euro Cup game, which was, I think, Italy against England, and we went to this place called La Trottola, and the people were there were really nice and they were kind of funny, and so we went back another day and we got pizza there, and they had pretty cheap pizzas. I think it was like €4 for a whole pizza for a person, and we each got like 2 pizzas, and it was really good. And it was kind of weird pizza. It was like really thin, but it was nice because we hadn't had hot food in a while, so it was good. So much you can't really see everything.
Yeah.
Every inch is covered in something. So our last kind of paid ticket was our last day in Rome. We took the train to Milan, and the train was really nice. But as soon as we got off, we had no idea what we were going to do. So we were going to hitchhike for the rest of the trip. So we had to find our way to the North Highway in Milan, which we had no idea where it was. We walked for a long time. We eventually found it, and we were walking along the highway for a long time, and it was really hot, and so we kind of stopped in the shade for a while in this little place where turned off the highway, and then the police stopped by us because they thought we were trying to hitchhike, which we weren't yet. We were trying to find a service station so we could hitchhike from there, but they saw our signs and they thought we were hitchhiking, so they were like, "Oh, you guys, you can't hitchhike here," and so we'll take you to the next town. You can buy a ticket there. And we were like, okay, so they actually drove us to the next town, and which was nice because would have taken us a long time to get there. We waited at the train station in Rho for a while till we found this train to a town called Varese, which we've never heard of before, but it was on our map. We just saw that the town was north, so we were like, oh, well, we'll go to that one because it's north. We want to go north to Switzerland. And so we took the train there, and we got there really late at night, and we didn't know what we were going to do because there was no way we could get to Switzerland that night, and we just walked around the town for a while. We had no idea where we were going, and we were kind of desperate for a place to stay because there was no good camping. There was no woods or anything. It was just like houses, and nobody had yards and stuff. So Andrew saw this guy pull up in a car, and he asked him. He's like, "Do you have a yard or something we can camp in?" And the guy was like, "No, but I have a friend who has a yard. I'll call him." And so it was like already like 10:30 or 11, and the guy called his friend. And he talked to him for a while. And he was trying to convince him. Like, we didn't know what he was saying because he was talking Italian, but like you could tell that he really wanted to help us and stuff. But his friend said he couldn't because he was like
working a late shift or something. And so he's like, oh, well, come down the road with me. There's a bar right here. I know the guy who works there. And you're like, okay. And so we followed him down the road. And there was a bartender who took us in his car. We didn't even speak English. And he said, oh, I'll take you to the place. I want to take you to go see the bishop. Because there's a Catholic church that we might be able to stay, may be able to let you stay at. So he took us up the road for a couple of miles to this Catholic church / community center thing, and they were having this big party there with all these people. And they took us in and they let us sit down and they gave us French fries and some drinks and some like candy and cake and stuff. And they were all really nice and funny. And we waited there for a while, having our French fries and stuff, and talking to the people at the party. And then the bishop came. And they said we could camp there probably, but they said that we have to call the bishop. We got to ask the bishop. So the bishop got there, and he didn't speak in English, so we had to get a translator. And he kind of asked us some questions to see if we were like decent people and stuff. And he decided that he'd let us camp there, so he took us out into the yard and showed us a little grass area we could put our tent up. So that was really cool. And actually, while we were at the party, we met this guy who worked in a town called Lugano, which is right over the border in Switzerland, which we were trying to get to. And he's like, oh, well, I work there. And we're like, can you take us? And he's like, yeah, I guess. And so we were lucky to get a ride with him, and he picked us up early in the morning. We got a ride straight to Switzerland.
See from here. Oh, yeah. Nice one. Bordeaux is the company of beer and chocolate.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
After Alexander, the guy we met at the party at the Catholic Community Center, took us to Lugano, we were hitchhiking really for the first time. We just went to this road right outside the highway, and we were just sticking our thumbs out in the road and looking at people and trying to get them to give us a ride. And we waited for about 2 hours, and then I was out there, and this guy stopped in a little Peugeot 207, and he was like, oh, I thought it was only one person, and we just got in really quick. And then he didn't stop us, so it was good. And as we were riding with him, we found out he was actually going all the way to Munich, so we just decided to make a decision and skip Switzerland, basically. We didn't stop anywhere in Switzerland, we just drove through it. It was still really nice, but Switzerland was probably too expensive anyway to go to, so that was good.